So tell us about this Rome game. I am. But now we've got two Spencers.
You can never have too many Spencers, right, Lara?
If I keep pressing buttons, Steve, we're going to end up like multiplying the Williams all over the website. All right, so while we've got the big Spencer in front of all the board games, tell us a little bit more about Rome. I am curious about this game. Can I tell you something honestly?
Sure.
On our little Gumbo chat today, somebody posts your video, and I went hard pass. And I am a Ryan Lockett fanboy. But you sell me on this game. What's to like about Rome?
Well, I guess it's not really my job to sell you on it.
I feel like it's in the same vein as Megaland. How do you feel about Megaland?
I haven't played Megaland yet. I've seen it at Target a million times. One of the guys owns it in the Gumbo. I just haven't played it yet.
Okay. So it's probably...
it's going to be a good gateway game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the premise is it's set in the world of Islebound and Above and Below and Near and Far and City Fire.
Same, yeah. Ours, and it's got those characters are on the cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I've got a solo shot here, and you can recognize, the frog people and all the different art.
Vera's in there, Shardling. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the story is there's this sleeping sickness that's come across Arzium, and all these characters are roaming across the land and doing bizarre things, and
like they're doing crazy stuff in their sleep.
It's really funny to read the flavor text.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites is something about like shouting mathematical equations.
Oh yes.
Oh, Stephen.
Steve, if you wait a couple of minutes, we're going to be doing the Hollywood Squares pretty soon.
Can we do the Brady Bunch?
The Brady Bunch, yeah, that's a good one.
Yes.
Okay.
So the way it works is you can see right there you've got a 6x6 grid of these cards. One side is a landscape with squares, and the other side is the character. And so on your turn, you start out with 3 characters that are they have the same shape patterns on them for everybody. So you can see there's like a little L shape of cubes, one that's like a diagonal cube, and one that's one cube with a little blank. Basically what you do is when you use a card, you flip it over and you place the cubes on the map in that formation.
From your perspective.
Right.
That's why it's kind of, you have to be a specific kind of table to play it.
That, or you just need to like sit, kind of angle it a little bit, because you do want to try to be as straight on your perspective from where you're sitting as you can. And I thought, well, don't you have to have a square table? But you don't. You can like diamond it.
That's what we did the other night on a regular dining table. It's like rectangle. We just kind of like turned it.
But that's one of the interesting things is you're placing cubes. Even though Lara and I might play the same card, it goes down on the map in a different way because she's doing it.
I'm facing this way, and he's facing that way.
Oh, okay, so you know who's playing what on which part of the cards. That's how you tell with the cards.
Yeah, because everybody has their own colored cubes of their color. And so you put the cubes down in the pattern of the player or the character that you use. And then once one of those cards is completely filled with cubes, 6 on each of them, the character on the back has been found, and you save them. And so you flip it over, and whoever has the most cubes on that card gets to add that character to their team.
And you know by the corners that the cubes are on? Is that how you know? Or is it by the colors of the cubes on it?
So let's say I had 3 cubes on one, Lara had 2, and you had...
And you had 1.
1. I get the card because I have the most on there.
But we would both get coins.
For being on there, for having a presence, for helping in the search.
And each of those characters, before you've even claimed it yet, when it's still the map side face up, you can already see the configuration of how the cubes are going to go. And you can also see the point value of what they're going to be worth at the end of the game. So you can kind of like start weighing out where do I want to put my cubes. So
what's interesting about this, and to kind of like really explain a little bit better for lack of me explaining it good now. Anyway, erase everything you just said. Each new character you get has a different cube formation. And so they're going to help you place cubes out on the map better coverage than the ones you start with. So that's kind of like a tableau building kind of thing to where you can make your character, your search party better by adding different characters. But what's interesting is initially you're just like, okay, this is just an area control game. I just want to have the most cubes on this card. But when you throw in that element of the different perspectives, if you're not paying
there you
attention,
go. Now you can see the cube placement better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not really paying close attention to where everyone's doing, if you're just like, okay, I'm going to focus on this one card, I want to get as many cubes on there as I can, as fast as I can, it would be very easy for another player to run away with the exact same thing on another card. And so it's just like, okay, you have a card, then I get a card, then we get a card. We'll just go around in a circle until one of us has 10 cards, essentially. But what you want to do is not let somebody else get the card. You want to stop everybody else from getting a card. And so you have to try to anticipate what the other player is going to do, which card they're going to play from their perspective, so that you can end up with the card and not them. It makes more sense when I don't talk about it.
No, but you're playing the other players. You have to watch what everyone else is doing and kind of anticipate where they're going to go.
Yes.
It's definitely not one that you can just go off to your own corner and play the game on your own, right? You have to be invested.
Lots
in
of
everybody's
player
doing.
interaction.
Yes, absolutely. And so what happens is, as you play your characters, you flip them over to show that you've used them. And once you've used them all, at the beginning of your turn, you flip them back over for them all to be available again. So once you've used one, you can't use it till they've all been used.
Or you can spend money to wake them up early.
And that's another interesting thing of, there's some strategy of, you can pay coins to early refresh, but at what point do they do that? If I wait too long, it's going to cost me more. But yeah, because
If you do it too early.
yeah, yes, too early. I'm telling you, unless you have the game in front of you, it's hard to.
He's really good at teaching it.
Yeah, if you watch the video, it'll be much more.
It's a great. No, I did watch a video. It's a great video. It's
Don't like you got the whole book memorized.
I guess what was throwing me off, and now that you've explained it, I kind of understand. It's more along the Megaland versus the near and far, above and below. Even Islebound has those story elements inside Islebound, as you know, the little story cards. But it just doesn't have that, though.
You've got the thematic element of the story itself behind the game, and then the flavor text there on the cards adds a little bit of theme of
The character cards. So when you wake them up, it tells you read what you found them doing. Like somebody was making a stew out of some papers or something.
it's bizarre stuff.
It's all really weird stuff. Thanks, Brian.
But yeah, I'm a little bit. I'm curious now, a little bit more now that you've talked about it, and I do like the art.
The art's great, but the theme is, so you're using your team of characters to help find more characters, and so the better your team is, better you are at finding more characters. So I guess that's the story element to it. But if you're looking for something that's got more of a story like Above and Below or Outbound or Near and Far, this definitely isn't going to have that.
No. Yeah, that's. I don't think that was the aim on this one.
No,
but,
it wasn't the intent, and it's a great filler. I mean, middle. It took us maybe 20 minutes to play. So it's light. You could easily teach it, and especially if you can.
And it's a small footprint.
Yeah, and especially if you can get beyond that initial, seemingly simple label of the game. That it's not just placing cubes and trying to have the most. There's way more underneath the surface than that, especially when you have more people.
And that is Rome from Red Raven Games, and I think it's out on Kickstarter right now. Isn't that right?
Yes, it launched today.